Welcome everyone to oldtacosthegeeks.com. Justin here back with more video game reviews, and today, my friends, we are going to be talking about the early access game DEADCAM, analog survival horror. As always, I give you a brief synopsis. You can catch this on Steam. So without further ado, my friends, here we go. Survive the horror of found footage recordings in this analog survival game. Play through multiple 80s and 90s inspired short stories, each with unique locations and terrifying encounters. When it comes to the sea of indie titles, that cam doesn't scream, it crackles. Crackles like worn out VHS tapes flickering with static and mystery, begging you to press play on a ghost story you never were meant to see. It's currently in early access, as I said, but it's offering a very promising look if of a brief but refreshing glimpse of concept in a survival horror space in the indies. The first chapter on Rio, hopefully I pronounced that right, drops you into a cursed Japanese high school, alone armed with only a camcorder and this sense of dread. The setting is pulled straight from the late 90s horror playbook, so you can think of Ju-on or Ringo for that matter, and from its grime-coated corridors to its eerie ambient silence, the atmosphere is oppressive in the best way. This is not a jump scare fest. Instead, Dead Cam really does a slow, methodical pace to its horror and uses the atmosphere to really capture the terror. And it does a great job with the voice acting as well. But as far as gameplay goes, at its core, Deadcam blends three pillars of gameplay. You got exploration, you got resource management, and you have a little bit of the light combat. You will be going to classrooms and various rooms in school to look for keys, codes, and clues, all while avoiding and fending off these malicious spirits. There are a variety of weapons in this early access, including a katana, a pistol, a shotgun, which adds and welcomes tension. And do you go loud or do you stay sneaky? Do you slice or do you just shoot up the spirits? Ammo and med kits are scarce, so every encounter feels like a choice. This isn't just run and gun horror, it rewards patience and planning. Puzzles are scattered throughout, some are more intuitive than others, but some of them is just mainly like I had to find a item, I had to find a code, I had to find this little key to get to the next section. And navigation is aided by a classic map system that those who are in the survival horror space will be used to. As far as the fear factor, you're probably wondering, how's the fear? Well, honestly, I really feel that this game does a great job of tension, and because of that is because of the graphics and the aesthetics. So let's talk about the aesthetics here. The game looks gorgeous. I really love this camcorder presentation. The lighting is great, especially in these dark corridors where you have to look around the classroom and you just see this sense of dread. And playing this with headphones really worked too, because the sound really amplifies the horror, especially with the spirit taunting you, asking you, the teacher Kenji, how does it feel? How does it feel? There's so much backstory and hints here throughout the taunting of the spirit that you see that the character of Kenji probably didn't do something he was supposed to do as a teacher here. And I'm not going to spoil it, but I really like the way this was presented here. As far as the graphics go, I didn't have any real frame rate issues. There are some graphical clipping when it comes to the ghosts. Sometimes they might be stuck through a door, but I will have to say, it is very pleasant on the eyes and definitely up to standards here of 2025. Now, as far as the horror goes, it does work, but it doesn't try too hard. It leans more into that analog identity, complete with film grade distortion of an actual camcorder. And it lets the ambience do the heavy lifting. Enemies are unpredictable. Some will sprinting towards you in the dark, while others haunt quietly in the distance. And then there's a mix of you guessing, especially on repeat playthroughs. Speaking of which, you will want to play this because the game features three distinct endings, and only one is considered the good one. So getting there depends on how much you explore, what you discover, and how you handle your escape. And this roughly playtime, folks, is around 45 to 60 minutes, to be honest with you. So to wrap this up, that Kim it's in early access right now, and this is just literally one episode or one story with more to come down the line. And this is more of a playable teaser than a full game. You get one self-contained chapter. While it's solid, it ends as just as you're really getting invested in this particular game. So some item placements are finicky. UI can use a little bit of polish, and the scares, while stylish, can feel a little bit repeated on the runs. But that's where the early access label does come in. So as far as our rating goes, you know how we do when it comes to video games. It's either buy it now, wait for a sale, or skip it entirely. I honestly, since this is a early access game, I will have to say wait for sale. I mean, it is only $7.99, or I would just say wait for it till later, because this one has a lot of promise, but I will wait until there are at least a little bit more chapters for you to sink your teeth into. So that being said, my friends, this is Justin from oldtacosandgeeks.com. What did you think of DEADCAM Analog Survival Horror? Comment below, let me know. If you like what we do here, hopefully we earned your subscription. And if we did, please hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. I'll be back with more reviews later, my friends. Later days.